Hi, welcome to Bringing Bricks. I'm your host, Neil. This is week 18 of the Clone Outpost on Naboo. We've been working on this for 17 weeks. This makes 18. We've gotten a lot done. We got a lot more to go. But man, let's talk some Mando. Last week's episode was really intense. You know, Din Djarin is in the hands of Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon showed up with some badass Mando armor. And I already told the wife that I want that helmet for Christmas. I'm looking forward to that already. And of course, you know, Bo-Katan, we found out what happened with the Darksaber and her and how Moff Gideon got it. Wow, it was a heavy episode. And to see them all get wrecked towards the end when they got there, to find out there is an Imperial base there, wow. We knew it was there somewhere. At least that was my theory. I'm glad that I was right on that one. But anyway, you know, tomorrow's the final. What's going to happen? Is Din going to get... I hope not, you know. Because we got Bo Mommy taking care of Grogu, it seemed like this season. But anyway, you know, man, there's a lot to it. A lot to it. I just can't wait to see it tomorrow. I hope to get Mandalore back. I hope they kick Moff Gideon's little ass right up off of that planet. But anyway, we got a lot of work to do. You know, we got the roofing on, we got the lighting in, and it's time to start working on the layout for the 6th deck. I'm thinking... You know, an engineering department with a shield generator, of course, you know, things like that. You know, we got to lay out what rooms we're going to put into this thing. And I can't wait to get started. So let's just get into it. All right, my friends. This week we've got a lot more to work on. We've come a long way, but we still have a lot more to work on. You know, I kind of want to focus on this down here and get this finished so I can just be done with this down here. But then I started thinking about some of the stuff I want to put up here. Okay. And I definitely want to put some kind of engineering room with a couple of motors and maybe a big ass shield generator. You know, I haven't built one of those in a couple seasons. I like the way they come out, and I've got a good idea for this one as well. Unfortunately, you know, I can't just build the room first. I'm going to build the shield generator first and then build the room around it. Kind of like I did with the medic bay. You know, I built the stuff that I wanted to put in the room, and then I built the room around it just simply because it just comes out so much better that way. This way you can plan where this stuff sits in the room, how big the room is going to be, how you're going to put it together. Because, you know, I don't plan this stuff out in advance. I just build it on the spot like a blank piece of paper. I'm an artist sketching this thing out right now. So let's just get at it. All right, so what we got here is a shell of a shield generator. Doesn't take much to get to this point. It's completely unfinished, and you can even still see the gaps in between each of those plates there. Now the reason why I'm not pushing them up against each other like most people would is because I'm going to be making these light up. I'm going to be using translucents in between them. I'm going to give them a glow. I did this before. It really comes out well, and every time I redo this build, it comes out a little better every time. This version of this build is actually a little bigger than the last one I've done, because the last one was still a little flimsy, where this one seems to be a little bit more prominent and well together. So anyway, let's continue on. right, as you can see, we've gotten a few things together. We've got the shield generator in place. I don't have it actually attached because it's still going to go out. We're going to start beginning the work on the wall here behind it. We have a good idea how big the room is going to be with this stuff in it, and how we're going to put it together. So once we get this back wall somewhat in place, I also have things together like this for the outside of the wall that's going to stick into the wall surface like so, like a gun turret. So we still got a lot of work to do. I still got computers to build and other things to put into engineering, but this kind of gives us a rough idea of what direction we're going to go in. So back to work. Alright, so check it out. We got the majority of our face wall done. I like these little guns. I gotta redo those two over there. They're still not stapled in yet, but we'll get to that. I don't really want to go too much higher until I get the inner walls built. That way they can fasten into this for support and it all locks in together. But before we can do that, we have flooring to put in. So we're going to hold off on up here, and I did figure out what the layout is going to be up here, and we'll discuss that later. But, I got a little time left, so we're going to go ahead and work. So a little bit more on the bottom, but we're going to start on the back side of the other side. That way, stuff just kind of gets done. All right, so let's get to that. my friends, we've taken it as far as we can take it this week. You know, we have gotten a lot done. You know, I got these guns all built up here, these rotary guns. I think they look cool. You've got the facing of the wall here. We got some exhaust ports as well. You know, we got a lot more done on the inside. You know, we started with our shield generator, and then I wanted to figure out what my layout was going to be, and I wasn't positive quite yet, but I did figure that out throughout the evening. So let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll show you what we've gotten done. All right, here's an up close of this next part of the section of the wall. All right, you know, this is a mountain facing, so it is sticking out. I love how that came out like that. It just looks really well. We're not completely done with the wall yet because we still got a lot more on the inside, and I want to anchor my support walls to it. All right, so as you can see, we started the layout here. Before we get much taller, we're going to start working on flooring. All right, so this is going to be a barrack, you know, a normal troop barrack, and then a couple of officer barracks right here. Of course, our elevator, which goes all the way down. And then, of course, engineering. Got a couple things built for inside there. Our doorways, just to mark how it's going to go. Gives me an idea. All right, with this room here, the only way to be able to see in here is through this doorway once I get it all finished. So we're going to start with that section, finish it up, and then move on to the rest. And then over here, we're going to use this for storage. You know, crates, shipping crates, more guns, missiles, things like that. Unless if I change my mind before I get to it. All right, my friends, so next week we're going to continue on with the inside. We're going to start with the flooring and then continue on with the walls. And of course, we're going to work on engineering first and then work our way out. Like I said, we're going to be looking in through the doorway to be able to see that room. So we're going to complete that room completely before we move on to the rest of it. All right? Hey, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and hit the like button. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And of course, it helps the algorithm out along. And if you got a good idea, or maybe an idea for one of these rooms that I'm putting in here, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below, and I'll be quick to respond. And of course, we can't grow here as a family unless you hit that subscribe button. Takes you a second, but does mean an awful lot to me. So please do so. Otherwise, I'll see you here next time on Breaking Bricks.